What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I am back with wonderful news. You see, I've been telling you for a couple of weeks now about the latest issue of Saikyo Jump magazine over in Japan. Now, this is, for my money, one of the coolest promotions I've ever seen for any card game. It is amazing, and basically what you did was you bought an issue of the magazine, and it came with a 25-card half deck of mini cards. It came with 5 full-size proper Tournament Legal in Japan Dawn cards, never seen before, and a double-sided paper play sheet. It was awesome. I bought this. I'm very happy I did. It's a little bit sad you get a half deck of mini cards, and it's a little bit sad you get 5 Dawn rather than 10. But it's basically everything you need to start playing. Like, you and your mate could go and each buy an issue of the Saikyo Jump, and then you can both have a 25-card deck and 5 Dawn cards and sit there and play mirror matches. It's kind of awesome, honestly. Well, I've got wonderful news, ladies and gentlemen. They're running it back. Because I'm reading through my issue of Saikyo Jump magazine. I say flicking through, reading a few bits here and there. My Japanese is coming on, but I'm not quite there yet. And right at the end of the book, we get a, hey, here's what you get next month. And there is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel promo, which is lovely. And another Union Arena promo. I'm picking up promos like that pretty quickly at this stage. This month and next month, Saikyo Jump and V-Jump all have Union Arena promos, which is kind of cool. And I also see that next month, Saikyo Jump are running it back. And I'm so happy about this. Because, hey, you know how you only got 5 Dawn in this magazine, but you really need 10 Dawn with which to play? Yeah, they're doing it again. There are another 5 Dawn coming in next month's issue, and these are Yamato Dawn. And I love this. Once again, you get 5 of them, and it should not escape your attention at this stage that essentially, if you've got yourself 5 Dawn from this month's issue, they being the Monkey D. Luffy Dawn, and then you get yourself 5 Dawn from next month's issue, that being the Yamato Dawn, you will then have a complete Dawn deck from the 2 magazines. Although obviously do remember, Japanese Dawn are not legal for tournament play outside of Japan. We'll talk about that more in the future. It's something I'm not terribly happy about. Hey-ho. So that's a thing, ladies and gentlemen. That is happening. But that's not all. Now, it looks like you don't get a play sheet next month, which is actually a little bit sad. I know it's just a play sheet, and I know it's paper and all of that, but I still like the play sheet. That's a bit sad. But you do get yourself a deck box. A deck box featuring Yamato. Now, let's be perfectly clear. It's going to be like a foldable cardboard deck box. It's not going to be a big plastic one. That's a little bit sad. The magazine in Japan is absurdly cheap. The magazine costs 650 yen. So if you're over in Japan and you're not paying for it to be shipped over to anywhere else in the world, and you're just paying 650 yen, you're talking about a magazine which costs $4.72 or £3.99. Which is, ironically enough, what magazines could cost. Except that was years ago. Magazines are all like £6 nowadays in the UK. $3.99, and you get yourself a half deck and 5 Dawn cards. And the magazine itself is like 600 pages. It's redonk, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely redonk. So you don't get yourself a play sheet, but then again, you got one in this month's issue, so that's fine. You do get yourself a lovely paper deck box featuring Yamato. And for what it's worth, we can recognise the artwork there, right? That is clearly the artwork from the Yamato starter deck. So you can see it on the front of the starter deck. You can also see it on the Yamato sleeves, which are coming. So it's a starter deck 9, the Yamato starter deck artwork, which is probably not a coincidence. It comes along in the same issue as the Yamato Dawn. So okay, well now we've got 10 Dawn, which is lovely, and we got ourselves a play sheet, and we got ourselves a deck box. That's pretty much all we need. Except we've still only got a half deck. Don't worry your pretty little heads about it, ladies and gentlemen, because they're giving you the other half of the deck. I know! This is wonderful. And what is actually really cool, they've given you the deck list for the 25-card half deck in this month's issue, so you know exactly what's coming next time, and that's rather lovely. This is just wonderful. This is absolutely brilliant. Again, obviously, they're all red cards, which you should be expecting because you're making a deck. Obviously, they're all going to be red cards because they were red cards in this month's issue. But then over the 2 issues, you're going to have a full deck of mini cards, plus 10 proper full-size official Don, and your play sheet and your deck box. Admittedly, the play sheet and the deck box kind of paper and cardboard, they're not that exciting, but it's still cool they're including them. And again, this magazine is less than $5. It is absurd, the value you're getting here. And like I say, in every issue, you know, the one that's just come out, you also got yourself a Dragon Quest promo and a Union Arena promo and a Yu-Gi-Oh promo. And next month you are getting yourself a Union Arena promo again and a Yu-Gi-Oh promo again, in addition to all of the One Piece stuff. It's just ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous how good value we're getting here. And by we, I mean the people in Japan, not us. So which cards are included then in the half deck coming forward? Remember, these are mini cards, but I've got this month's issue, because that's where I'm showing you the photos from. The thing to remember is, yes, they are mini cards, but they are still proper cards. They are still decent quality. They still have proper backs. They have like the official card game backs. They are just absolutely wonderful, and I love them. For what it's worth, the half deck that just came out comes on 5 sheets of 5 cards. The front sheet, that featuring, well, it's the one you can see on the screen here, that is actually got a really cool holo pattern on. The rest of the sheets are non-holo. You might be able to see from this image how some of the cards have that holo pattern and some of them don't. Oh, as a side note, the ace leader is not like the rest of the cards. It wasn't on the punch sheet. It's printed in the magazine in colour, but it's just in the magazine. So it does have the right card back, which is nice, but it's just flimsy paper quality. It's not the same as the mini cards, unfortunately. But it's just one leader, and the leader cards cost nothing. Go and buy a real leader. You'll be fine. So which cards are coming in this 25-card half deck then in next month's issue of Saikyo Jump? Well, we have ourselves 1 copy of the Jinbei from the starter deck. That is the one whereby Don X1, when attacking up to one of your leader or character cards other than this card, gains 1,000 power during this turn. It actually came as a one-of in this month's issue as well, which I do find kind of interesting. They're essentially upping it to 2. You get yourself 2 copies of Guard Point. That is the event card that gives your leader or character 3,000 power as a counter, or 1,000 as a trigger. You get yourself a full playset of Usopp from the starter deck, counter plus 2,000, and Don X1 on your turn, once per turn, draw a card when your opponent activates an event, a card that's seen a bunch of play. And you get yourself a playset of Nami, which seems to be the alternate art. That is one that on play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal a Straw Hat crew other than Nami, and pop it in your hand. We've seen in the image from the magazine the alternate art Nami, and then we've also seen that, last month they tended to give us the best versions of cards, so it is actually going to be the old art Nami. No, it's not a full-size official card like that, but it is an official mini-size card with the same wonderful artwork. It's not a million miles away. You then get yourself a pair, 2 copies of Nico Robin. Don X1, when attacking, KO one of your opponent's characters with 3,000 power or less. Another card that's seen a bunch of play. They're not giving you random cards here. They are giving you, legit good cards that see play. Now, we're also getting 4 copies of Portgas the Ace that came around in OPO2. Now, this one's kind of interesting because they're not giving you the manga ace, they're giving you the alternate art. It's still not the regular, it's still alternate art, but you can see from the magazine it's clearly the alternate art, not the manga, which is a bit weird because they gave you Manga Shanks this month. Don't know why they've not given you Manga Ace, but they haven't. But it's still the alternate art of Ace. On play, give up to 2 of your opponent's characters, minus 3,000, and then if your leader has Whitebeard Pirates in its type, this character gains Rush during this turn. Yeah, that's pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. Good card, sees play, we like it. We've then got ourselves 2 copies of Marco, but this does seem to be the regular art, not the alternate art. Not entirely sure why, but we can see on the screen there that it clearly is that. Marco, again, great card, seeing a bunch of play right now. On play, KO one of your opponent's characters to 3,000 power or less, and on KO you can trash an event card from your hand to play this character from the trash rested. Good card, sees a bunch of play right now, so this is actually pretty gosh darn cool. We then see a couple copies of Flame Emperor. This is the 7 cost card. Couldn't have put this previously because you only had 5 Don cards this month, but now we're going to have 10. We can totally play it. If your leader is Porcus the Ace, KO up to one of your opponent's characters of 8,000 power or less, then your leader gains double attack and 3,000 power during this turn. As a trigger, it KOs a 6,000 power character. We then see a couple of copies of Crossfire here. Now, this is the 2 cost, main or counter. If your leader has Whitebeard Pirates in his type, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 4,000 power during this turn. As a trigger, it does the same thing. And then we finish off with 2 copies of Fire Fist, which we actually know is not going to be the alternate art because we can see the regular art on the screen there. So it is a bit weird that they've given us the alternate art of Nami, the alternate art but not the manga art of Ace, but then the regular art of a couple of cards that have alternate art. It's a little bit weird, frankly, especially given that last month, or this month's issue, they did just tend to go, if there is a fantasy version, you can have the fantasy version. A little bit weird, still pretty cool. This event card, I should say, is the 3 cost. You may discard an event card from your hand, KO up to one of your opponent's characters of 5,000 power or less, and one of your opponent's characters with 4,000 power or less. As a trigger, just 5,000. This is so good, and I love this so much. And I cannot speak highly enough of this promotion. I just think it's absolutely amazing. The fact that we actually have, over 2 issues, a full deck, mini cards, with 10 proper full-size Don, and your play seat and your deck box, it's just, I hope this is doing wonders for One Piece over in Japan. I hope this is brilliant. And as always, this is going to be in next month's Saikyo Jump, which, according to this month's, and they should know, honestly, is dropping on the 4th of April. So if I see a listing for that on Amazon Japan, which, as I've told you before, is the best place to buy it, I will immediately tweet it out. And I did do, for this month's issue, I did send out a tweet telling you where to get, showing you the link from Amazon. So I did show you this, ladies and gentlemen. Fingers crossed you can see it again this time. Right, there we go. That's what you need to know. And now it's over to you, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me how excited you are. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk One Piece and card games and a bunch of other fun stuff. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and just generally have an awful lot of fun. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.